Okay, welcome in. There was just 3 games to report from Monday's action in the National Hockey League, so this video shouldn't take too terribly long. The first matchup took place in the Metropolitan Division as we had the New York Rangers playing host to one of their bitter rivals in the New Jersey Devils. The Devils would kick things off in the first, getting the first goal of the game, courtesy of Jesper Bratt. He'd get his 12th goal of the season from Palat and Kovacevic, just a minute and 27 seconds into the opening frame. Dawson Mercer would increase the lead to 2-0, getting his 6th goal of the season from Luke Hughes, 7 minutes and 10 seconds of the first period. In the second, Dougie Hamilton would give the Devils a 3-0 lead, getting his 5th goal of the season, assisted by Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt, 9 minutes and 4 seconds of the middle frame. Jack Hughes would get his first goal of the game, his 10th of the season from Luke Hughes and Jesper Bratt, 12:38 of the second period. The Devils had a 4-0 lead at that point. Chris Kreider would finally get the Rangers on the board, getting his 10th goal of the season, a power play goal from Zibanejad and Panarin, 13:29 of the second period. Jack Hughes would get his 2nd goal of the game, his 11th of the season, a power play goal from Bratt and Hamilton, 18:56 of the second period, giving them a 5-1 lead, and that's where we'd stand at the end of regulation. So big win for the Devils. The Toronto Maple Leafs played host to the Chicago Blackhawks. Austin Matthews would get his first goal since returning after being out for so long. That'll be his 6th goal of the season from Nylander and Ekman-Larsson, 15:35 of the first period. John Tavares would get his 11th goal of the season from Marner and Holmberg, 11:59 of the second period, giving them a 2-0 lead. Lucas Reichel would cut into that lead in the third, getting his 3rd of the season from Maroon and TJ Brody, 3:26 of the third period. I feel like I said the word third too many times. Fraser Minton would give the 3:26, so just 21 seconds after Reichel scored, Minton would get on the goal scoring sheet himself, getting his 2nd goal of the season from Timmins and Lawrence, 3:47 of the third period. The Blackhawks were down by 2. They would pull their goalie, but unfortunately it did not pan out as Matthew Knies would get the empty net goal, getting his 10th goal of the season from Marner and Myers. And that goal happened with 1 minute and 45 seconds to go in the game. So the Leafs would win this original 6th matchup 4-1. And the last game from Monday took place in Utah as we had the Hockey Club playing host to the Dallas Stars. In the first period, Evgeny Danonov would get his 7th goal of the season, a power play goal from Matt Duchene and Heiskanen, 7:07 of the second period. Late in the second, Jamie Benn would increase the lead to 2-0, getting his 6th goal of the season, assisted by Sam Steele, and that goal happened with 43 seconds to go in the second. In the third, Nick Schmaltz would finally get Utah on the board, getting his 3rd goal of the season from Michelli and Bustad, 6:57 of the third period, but unfortunately Utah was not able to mount a comeback, so 2-1 would be the final score. So now that I'm all up to date on the scores, I will take a look at the wildcard standings now. So I'll move this back just a tad, and hopefully you can see the teams. There we go. So starting in the Atlantic, Toronto is still atop of that division with a record of 15-7-2. They have 32 points as we speak. Florida is right on their tail, though. They are 15-9-1. They have 31 points, just 1 point back. And the Bruins are 12-11-3. They have 27 points. In the Metropolitan Division, the Devils are back on top with a record of 17-9-2. They have 36 points. The Washington Capitals are 17-6-1. They have 35 points. And the Carolina Hurricanes are 16-7-1. They have 33 points. The 2 teams in the wild card are both from the Metropolitan. The New York Rangers have the first wild card spot as of today, 13-10-1. They have 27 points, and the Flyers are 12-10-3. They also have 27 points. The rest of the Eastern Conference looks like this. The Tampa Bay Lightning are just 1 point out of a playoff spot with a record of 12-9-2. They have 26 points. The Blue Jackets are very shockingly doing better than a lot of people had thought they would. They're 11-9-3. They have 25 points. They're only 2 points out of a playoff spot, which is absurd because including myself and maybe some other NHL analyst or whoever else that predicts how teams will do, I didn't even have them in a wild card spot or a playoff spot. I thought they would have been the bottom of that Metropolitan Division, but there's still plenty of hockey left, so let's not count our chickens just yet. The Buffalo Sabres are 11-11-2. They have 24 points. The Islanders also have 24 points with a record of 9-10-6. And the Pittsburgh Penguins are the third team with 24 points. They have a record of 10-12-4. The Detroit Red Wings are 10-11-3. They have 23 points. The Ottawa Senators are 10-12-2. They have 22 points. And the Montreal Canadiens, as I said at the start of the video, are last in the Atlantic and Eastern Conference with a record of 8-13-3. They have 19 points. All right, over to the Central Division of the Western Conference. Who would have guessed Winnipeg would not be in first place after they had such a hot start? They're definitely starting to come back down to earth a little bit. Minnesota, they're sitting in first place with a record of 16-4-4. They have 36 points. The Jets dropped down to second place. They're 18-7-0. So really no need to panic, but when you get off to such a hot start and you start to cool off, it's definitely not a good sign. But at least they're still in the top three of that Central Division. The Dallas Stars have a record of 16-8-0. They have 32 points. They're 4 points back of both the Jets and the Wild, respectively. All right, in the Pacific Division, we have the Vegas Golden Knights. They have a record of 15-7-3. They have 33 points in first place. The Kings are 14-8-3. They have 31 points. And the Vancouver Canucks are 13-7-3. They have 29 points. The two teams in the wild card are both from Alberta. The Edmonton Oilers have a record of 13-9-2. They're just 1 point back of Vancouver for that third spot. And the Calgary Flames also have 28 points with a record of 12-9-4. The rest of the Western Conference looks like this. The Colorado Avalanche are 13-12-0. They have 26 points. They're 2 points back of Calgary for that last wildcard spot and 26 points. And they're 6 points back of Dallas. So at this point, if you're Colorado, you might as well try to chase the wildcard spot because Dallas already has 3 games won over you or 6 more points than you do. So not saying that they can't play catch-up, but this season's definitely been a little wishy-washy for the Avs. The St. Louis Blues are 11-12-2. They have 24 points. The Utah Hockey Club also have 24 points with a record of 10-11-4. The Anaheim Ducks have 23 points with a record of 10-10-3. The Kraken and Sharks also have 23 points with their records being 11-13-1 and 9-13-5, respectively. The Nashville Predators are 7-12-6. They have 20 points. And the Chicago Blackhawks are 8-15-2. They have 18 points. There's no point in me going on my usual rant about teams that should be doing better. I mean, they know who they are. But a lot of teams have definitely shocked me, whether if it's for the good or for worse. But there's still plenty of hockey to be left. I'm pretty sure a lot of teams have at least 55. No, sorry. Let's see. So a lot of teams have played 25 games. Let's say every team's played at least 25 games. 35, 45, 55, 65, 75. So every team has over 50 games left, respectively. So there's still plenty of hockey left. There's really no need to panic for some teams, but for the second last place in the Western Conference, you're 8 points out of a playoff spot. So you better smarten up. That's all I got to say. All right, that's going to take care of Monday's recap from the National Hockey League. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.